The output latch, OTL, and the OTU instructions are retentive instructions used to set a bit to a 1 and to reset the bit to a 0. The OTL will set the address bit to a 1 when the instruction is true. The bit will remain a 1 when the instruction becomes false. The OTU instruction will reset the address bit to a 0 when the instruction is true. The bit will remain a 0 when the instruction becomes false. The instructions are used in pairs referencing the same address. This is an example of the use of the OTL and OTU instructions. Pressing the fan on button will make the latch instruction true and set the output bit that controls the event fan to a 1, turning on the fan. When the button is released, the fan remains on. Pressing the fan off button will make the unlatch instruction true and reset the output bit that controls the vent fan to a 0, turning off the fan. The fan will remain off when the button is released. Pressing the on button will latch the output on, and pressing the off button will unlatch the output and turn it off. This program uses the latch and unlatch instructions to control a Do Not Enter sign at a car wash. When the motor start push button is pushed, the track motor is turned on. When a car closes the enter limit switch, the output branch of the first rung becomes true and latches the wash in use bit. The wash in use bit turns on the Do Not Enter sign. When the car leaves the car wash, closing the exit limit switch, the wash in use bit is unlatched and the Do Not Enter sign is turned off. We will start the motor with the start push button and simulate a car entering and leaving the car wash. The ONS one-shot instruction is an input instruction used to turn an output on for one scan cycle regardless of how long the instruction is true. The ONS output becomes true on the false to true transition of the instruction. When the limit switch is closed, the ONS will be true for one scan cycle and the add instruction will add 1 to the sum. Each time the switch opens and closes, the add instruction will be executed. Without the one-shot on the rung, the add instruction would add 1 every scan cycle while the limit switch was closed. The one-shot rising instruction, or OSR, is an output instruction. The output bit will be true for one scan cycle after the input to the instruction goes from false to true. The one-shot falling instruction, or OSF, is an output instruction. The output bit will be true for one scan cycle after the input to the instruction goes from true to false. This program uses all 3 one-shot instructions. The first add instruction uses the ONS instruction. The second add instruction uses the OSR, and the third add instruction uses the OSF to ensure that the adds are only performed once for each switch activation. In this simulation, each time the sensor switch closes, a constant is added to the sum for the respective one-shot. The addition only occurs once for each switch closure. Without the one-shots, the additions would occur every scan cycle while the switch was activated.